Hi, everyone. I'm JP Michel, the founder of SparkPath and creator of the Career Myth cards.
Hi everyone, I'm Allie. I'm a project manager at SparkPath, and today I'm going to be playing the role of a student.
Thanks for being here, Ali. You're going to help us because you're going to play the role of a struggling student that's trying to figure out what they want to do next. And here's my intro to Ali, the student. We're going to explore some limiting beliefs that could hold you back from reaching your career goals. And we'll also explore empowering beliefs that could help you achieve them. Does that sound good?
Great, let's go.
We're going to use the career myth cards to help you do that. And I want you to take the deck and sort them into three piles: the cards you disagree with, the cards you agree with, and the ones you're unsure. So those are your three piles: agree, disagree, or unsure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Go with your gut. It should just take you a few minutes to go through the entire deck. While you're working, Ali, I'll share some tips with our educators and career advisors. My goal right now as the coach is to say as little as possible. I want to let Ali work through these ideas on her own. It's her self reflection. And here's what I'll tell you about the exercise: all of the cards are career myths or potential limiting beliefs. She doesn't need to know that yet. Most students won't realize it, and we can reveal that to them at a later stage of the game.
All right, JP, I'm done sorting my stack.
How did it go?
It was good. There were some I was unsure about, but a lot I felt really strongly in the agree or disagree.
Good, great. Are you ready to move on to the next stage?
Yeah, let's do it.
I want you to look at your pile of cards from the unsure category, and I want you to read the back of every card. Each time you read the back of a card, you're going to have the opportunity to change your mind and move it to the agree or disagree pile. Just to do one with you, I want you to look at the back of, if I make the wrong choice, there's no way of going back. I want you to look at all the elements on the back of this card. There's an invitation, there's a fact, and there's some advice. And I want you to read the entire thing and then decide where you want to put it. One thing I want to point out is that this is a student-led change process. We want them to think through the limiting belief, to look at a fact, an alternative way of looking at the world, and work through these ideas on their own. As a coach, you may be tempted to ask questions to push their thinking. There'll be opportunities for you to do that. You got to pick and choose when. But we do want them to have the power to review this information to change their minds. So again, I'm trying to be quiet as much as possible at this stage. Now that you've reviewed all the cards in your unsure pile and you've sorted them to agree or disagree, I want you to go through the same process with the agree pile. You're going to look at the back of the cards for all of your agree pile and decide if this information makes you change your mind. Ali, before we move on, I want to share a few tips at this stage. This is where there are great opportunities for examples, coaching questions. We've got a set of them in our facilitator guide that you can pull from. You might come up with quite a few ones based on your experience or your coaching skills. And I'm sure you'll have very engaging conversations with students. That being said, when I first did this exercise and started watching students doing this, people like Ali would have 1, 5, or 10 cards in their agree pile, and they would stay there, even if these were limiting beliefs. And that was hard to watch and to see. That's when I realized that we've got to serve Ali where she is right now. The students that you meet with have different levels of change, different levels of readiness and openness, different experiences, different beliefs. We're not going to change all of these limiting beliefs at the same time in 30 minutes and have them sent their way. What we're looking for is to move the needle on the limiting beliefs that are holding them back the most. And you'll be able to judge what's coming up, what's not coming up based on your conversation. So you don't need all the cards to move, at the same pace for each student. You're trying to create meaningful change based on where that student is at this moment in time. Ali, are you ready for the final step?
Yeah, let's do it.
Great. I want you to pick one card, the card that was the most impactful to you. Maybe it's the most memorable, the one that helped you learn something that was surprising. Look through the cards and pick one that stands out. What you choose?
I need to know exactly who I am before I start exploring career options.
What made you choose that one?
I think I feel a lot of internal pressure to figure out who I am, who I want to be before I make any moves in my career. This one helped me feel like I don't have to do that first, that I'm going to do that along the way.
That's a probably a great feeling to have.
Yeah, it was freeing for sure.
Okay, let's move on. Ali, you've learned a lot about myths and empowering beliefs through these cards. And your reflection will help you think about ways that you can reach your full potential. One of the biggest career myths that you're facing and that students like you face is that you have to pick one job for the rest of your life. Instead of using this outdated job title mindset, we're going to use a challenge mindset together where you're going to pick a challenge that you want to solve. Are you ready to do that?
Sure.
Great. We're going to use the challenge cards to do that. So that's what we'll move on to next.
Sounds good.
Okay, folks, you heard it here. That's how you transition from the myth cards to the challenge cards. And I hope you enjoyed this demo of the career myth cards. I think this is a unique way of tapping into the psychology of your students to find out what's really holding them back. And every minute you invest into this part of the process is going to pay huge dividends down the line when you're trying to get them to do assignments and homework and choose their challenge cards. And I can't wait to see what you do with this tool to inspire your students to reach their potential. Good luck.